Hello, Janie from Inky&Scrappy back with my Let's Start Stamping series, and I think we're going to play today with a couple of different stamp sets. I'm not feeling traditional Let's Start Stamping today, so I thought I would kind of mix and match some stamp sets, get something new going, and you know, go from there. All of these are still available on Lawn Fawn, so they are still in circulation if you like them. I want to use the pumpkin spice one. I don't know. I like that one today. Feeling coffee minded, I guess. I might bring in the tiny Halloween. I might bring in the wickedly perfect, and I might bring in the Spooktacular. Probably more for the sentiment because I like the sentiments on those ones, just size wise. They're really cute. But we'll see. I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing yet. I kind of was thinking it'd be fun to mask this one and put in like the little magic potion because, you know, coffee magic potion. I am also bringing in Lawn Fawn's Apple Cider 12x12 pattern paper for my background today. So I know I want that. That will be my color scheme. So if you are curious, this is with the big set. I will figure out which ones are in the 60 that we use on the channel as I go here, so I'll probably stop, pull out those markers, and then come back. All the things. I will tell you this, we're probably going to get some background noise today because it looks like there's some severe weather moving in. I love a good thunderstorm. We need some rain, so I'm not sad about it, but if you hear it, that's what it is. I'm sure I'll be fine. Well, okay, let's put it this way. If you're watching this, I obviously live to tell about it because somebody had to do the edits. Alright, so I'm going to start with this one and just get my piece of paper cut down and out of the way. So I'm going to do this one at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this will be my card front, basically. Now, this one has two sides, right? Because it's a 12x12. So we can go this way or we can go this way. I usually go this way just because I like the diagonal. I like it both ways. So depending upon my color scheme, I'll probably figure that one out as I go. Now for my stamped images. So I want to do the little pumpkin spice mug. I have the die set that goes with it, but if I mask it, I'm going to end up having to either hand cut it or cut it with, you know, some other device like my scan and cut. I need some masking paper. So I like to use Avery L's removable label sheets. It comes in big 8.5 by 11 sheets. It works well. Yes, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of hand cutting, but not a whole lot on this one, so I think we're gonna go with it. I'm also bringing in some Strathmore Bristol Smooth. I'm thinking I want to do kind of like a coffee backdrop to this one. So I'll have that as like my background, you know, on top of my background piece. Yeah, that's where my mind is at the moment. So usually I have these planned out a little bit better. Today I'm just not feeling it. If, you know, sometimes life is just that way. And I haven't been in the craft room all week, partly because my desk is a mess. It still is a mess. I really just pushed everything off the side. Said, you know what, if I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it. So I was gonna skip today, to be honest. I figured, you know what, it's probably just better that I do it and get it done for your sake and for mine. So sometimes creativity needs a big old kick in the keister. At least mine does today. Okay. So for this one, I am going to actually stamp on this piece first. So I'm going to bring in Lawn Fawn's Jet Black ink. This is my old one that doesn't stamp as well, but the ink dries faster. Don't ask. I still haven't figured out the whole issue. It is what it is. So I really just need, for my mask on this one, I really just need this part right here. So, well, I'm going to need it in two parts, but I kind of just need this one to start with. And then I'm going to need this one in a little bit. Well, I have two options. So, do I want to do it this way or do I want to do it that way? So about there is where I'm going to need my stamping thingy. Let's see here. I am going to find my towel, wipe this off. I'm going to see if I can get just a little really light impression. I didn't get anything. I was hoping for like the jellyfish ink one. So I'm going to bring in my jellyfish ink. Jellyfish ink is just, it's alcohol marker friendly, but it's supposed to be like a hidden ink so you don't see it so much that, you know, it's kind of like hidden. I'm just going to stamp lightly down here. It looks a lot darker than it should be, but whatever. I stamped it light enough that, and I just stamped the bottom part so I can tell where my placement is supposed to be. I'm going to end up using the other piece later on, I think, to finish this one up. We'll see. I only fussy cut out like the bare minimum, right? Just that one little line there. Do you think I can get this to come off? Maybe. Okay, here we go. So this is just going to help me line up where I actually need this piece to be. So that's where my mug is going to sit. I could do it the hard way and make it work, you know, slowly but surely and all of those things, but I think we'll work this way better. So for this one, I haven't decided which one do I want. Do I want the magic potion this way or do I want the bubble brewing? I think I'm going to do the bubble brewing. I can't talk today either. Big surprise there. Okay. So this just allows me to kind of bring this one in and add it without having to do a whole lot of ink deleting when I stamp. So I'm going to come in here. I don't know why I have a spoon. That stamp set is well loved and it really, it really needs to possibly maybe get washed in the sink. So when your stamps like this don't stick very well anymore, get yourself a little colander or like a sieve is really great, especially if there's some teeny tiny ones in there, like your kitchen sieve, right? Like the little one, and you can put them in there, wash them with a little bit. I like, I'm trying to think, Dawn Power Wash gets off a lot of the ink, but it's gonna, basically you want to get all of the skin ink, you know, the skin oils off of it, and then they'll stick again really good. So we're going to add the bubbles, and you totally don't have to do this part. This is me being extra because I can be, and because that's just where my mood is today. I need to, you know, do something out of my normal box, I guess you could say. Let's see here. So I'm going to take this one. Do I want to do, I think I'm just going to draw in my lines there maybe. Let's see. Let's take this one, lay it over the top and see. I can probably just cut out this part on this one and just cover up where that piece might be, and I might be able to get, I'll just do some creative stamping I think there. Okay, we'll clean that off. We're going to bring this one back in. And I'm just going to kind of line that up with my piece of paper on the bottom. And it should line back up. At least that's the hope on this one. And then we're going to use the other half of the piece we cut out that I just had and I lost, because that's how we roll. I would tell Amy to quit laughing because she's probably laughing. This was me when we did our stamp thing like together last week. I stamped stuff, had everything laid out, and then do you think I could find what I had just stamped? Nope. Do You think I'm in the same boat today? Yep. Where did it is still on there. I'm just blind. Blind as a bat. Okay, so I think if I just go here, I should be able to kind of wiggle out everything that I need. So I really just kind of need to cover up my bubbles. So just kind of cutting a little wedge out and then trying to get the back off of it is, you know. If you don't have masking paper, sticky notes work, like just a regular sticky note would work. Some of them are better than others, so I will, you know, I'll tell you that some of them just are better than others when it comes to those types of things. I could have probably just masked the other piece, but because that one's got the bubbles and they're not necessarily the greatest mask, I guess you could say, or the easiest to cut, or they're harder to mask, I'm just gonna go this route. Do as I say, not as I do. But basically, I just want it to cover up the parts that I don't want restamped. And I think we actually look pretty good there. I might be off a little bit on my first inking, but it's light enough that it should be all right. Okay, so I have my beverage done here. Let's see. I'm gonna have to come back in and add a little line there. This one is not alcohol marker friendly. The Copic one usually is. And I tried going to Michael's and buying a new one because mine is sorely lacking. It's like drying out. The tip is really big. I wish it was a little bit smaller. But Michael's did not have the Copic friendly version for whatever reason, I'm not sure. Ours is also a very small Michael's, so there's that. Anyways, I have my little brew cup. I thought about adding maybe like a witch's hat in the background, or maybe we could do a couple of potion bottles and a little gem. And we can make these all fairly simple colors. We don't need to be over the top with them. Let me move that so I don't mess that up. And put that back on. So this is just kind of like accent pieces that I think would be fun to add around my focal image. And if you don't have any of this, I mean, this one would work, and just putting this one in place of it would be totally fine. Don't feel you need to do the other. I love Lawn Fawn for the fact that you can mix and match all of the things. I love mixing and matching all of the sets and kind of coming up with my own, you know, creative designs. That's where, you know, I don't know, sometimes the magic seems to happen. It'd be kind of cute to put the little shaker in there too if you wanted to. Ah, heck. We'll go for a long video today. I'm going to add a little shaker as well. Arr! And we're going to stamp it twice because my ink pad is fairly dry. Okay, so I'm going to move this off my platform here, and I'm actually going to do the other piece before I color this one. It's going to let this dry a little bit. Hopefully we won't have smearing that way. The other thing is it will allow my other piece to dry a little bit. So I'm going to bring in some Strathmore Bristol Smooth, and I'm getting down to the end of my my big, I think that's probably the first or second one that I've gone through. They last a long while. So this one, I'm just going to cut it down to 4 inches. I don't know how big I want this one. I know I'm not going to need it to be huge. This is, you know, right now it measures 4 by 5 and whatever. I can probably cut it down to 5. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a smaller than this area. I just kind of want to give myself a little bit of room to play, if that makes sense. The other thing I'm going to do is bring in, so I have some ground espresso here. I think that one will probably be the brown I'm going to go with. And I kind of just want to do maybe like some coffee stains or that's kind of what I'm looking for on this one. So I'm going to do, actually I should do it. I should show you this way because it's one of the easier ways to do it. So this is just a plastic sleeve, right? So any piece of plastic will work. I'm just grabbing what's closest to my desk at the moment. And so I'm just going to smoosh my ink on that a little bit. And then I'm going to add some water to it. And instead of like trying to like ink smoosh from your surface, bringing your paper to it, I'm going to ink smoosh with my actual ink. And this way I can kind of control where my blots are going to go. And then I'm going to let this dry for a little while. I do want to come in and add a couple of little shapes to it just to give it, you know, some fun textures. Some more ink blended ones. Let me see here. Let me grab. Why do my paper towels have to be? I use shop towels because they don't have much of a texture to them. And my husband doesn't need to know I steal them from the shop. Do I want sparkles? I always want sparkles. Let's be real. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of that Windsor Newton Windsor Newton watercolor iridescent medium. I'm just taking the Distress ink bottle, re-inker bottle. Anything that is round will work to do this. I just kind of want to add some little, like maybe cup circles, that sort of thing. Like when you think of a coffee ring, it's kind of what I'm going for. Plastic is probably going to give you a better ring. Does that make sense? Well, let's try it. Do I have a plastic bottle that's small like that one? This one's probably similar in size. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of come with this one and add a couple of circles on there just to kind of give that illusion of maybe a coffee cup circle. And then once I have that on there, I'm also just going to do a little bit of splattering with it because, you know, if I'm playing, I might as well play, right? Well, maybe I'm going to play. And adding another layer on top of this one. I know this isn't dry there. It will dry back. And that's fine. But just kind of keeping in mind that I don't want to overpower too much of what my background is. Do I want to go in with another layer? I don't know. So I'm going to smoosh that up. Maybe bring in a little bit here. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to leave it. I'm a horrible smusher. I just like to keep adding layers. So I'm going to set this one off to the side and we'll see how it looks when we're all done coloring the other one. So I'm going to turn off the camera, find my marker colors, and then I'll be back to kind of help you with marker colors if you are looking at those 60. If you have the whole set, feel free. My Instagram has it and my www.Inkyyandscrappy.com. And the Hoo-Hoo Marker Color Blends tab will have the whole color sheet there. I think I added it last week, so it is on. So I will pull some markers and then I'll be right back. All right, I think I have it. I mean, I had to play with some of the colors a little bit, and I'll switch my tealy greens around a little bit. You could definitely go with that G471 and then just lighten it a little bit with this one, or kind of bring in this one and that one and kind of mix them on your paper. But I'm going to go with the G482, and then I'm going to pull in the G191 instead of the 190 for this one. It's kind of my second color that I don't really use here, and this one will be a little bit closer in shade to that color, so that's why I went with that one. For my deeper green here, this one's still going to be the same. The G554 is going to be the same, but I'm going to pull in 289 for my lighter shade, and I will just do some heavy mixing on that one to get the color. If I'm going to do a transition, I'll just do some tip to tip if I need to. I didn't do yellow. I am going to do the orange, and so I did have the YR892, which is kind of that darker tone up here. It's not the same as Y5, which is in the Honolulu B series, but it's going to be your closest bet or your closest match. And then I did bring in the YR792, which is the next step down. And for my red, I have the 586 up top. I'm just going to go with that one, and if I need to lighten it, I will just add colorless blender and kind of do tip to tip if I so choose. And then for my brown, I just brought in the 340. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I wanted the option. And then for my black tones, I am going to bring in the black 120, the cool gray 082, and the cool gray 042, so BG042, BG082, and 120. And then of course a colorless blender. So that's kind of where I went with my colors. So it's not exactly to this palette, but it should be close enough to match my background paper that I have picked out. And then of course that brown should match where I'm going, you know, with the other for the most part. So here we go. I need to sit today because my back is not my friend. It reminds me all the time. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna start with the hat because that's, you know, gonna be black, so it's usually the easiest. Usually for hats, I like to kind of start on the outside and work my way into the lightest, kind of giving it that illusion of roundness. And so that's kind of where I'm going to go with this one today. And so I'm starting with my blackest, and then I'm just going to go on to my medium tone and kind of color in half of what I've already colored in that black to just kind of bleed it out a little bit. It's going to push it into the paper a little bit more. It's going to help to blend it a little bit better. These are going to be a little bit bigger jumps for my gray tones than I like. And cool gray doesn't always blend the greatest. I tend to stick to warm grays. I think blend better, but you know, if you're doing the cauldron, kind of the same thing on this one, just kind of blending it. And I'm only using the two darkest ones. I'm not going to bring in that lighter one. That lighter one is going to be really light, and it's going to be hard to kind of blend them. So just keep that in mind if that's something you struggle with. Grays, cool grays, I feel even in the Copics are kind of harder to blend. So for this one, I'm going to go with orange for my accents on my hat. And then come in with the lighter orange. And then for my shaker here, I'm just going to come in and do some dots in the darker orange and the lighter orange, because I want it to kind of be textured. Do I want to bring in the red? I want to bring in the brown, wherever the brown is. Okay. then I'm just going to go over that brown again. I probably should have started with the brown, but whatever. I'll just come in with the orange kind of again to kind of add some more texture to that one. Bringing in the darker. And okay, so for my vials, what do we want to do in our vials? I want my bubbles to be green. So let's do a blue one. And I'm going to do, whoops, wrong side. And this one's up to you if you want to go all the way to the top with your coloring on your things. I usually like to leave kind of like some white space in there, like it's not all the way full. And those ones. I haven't decided what color to color the mug yet, to be honest. I might pull in and add like the little cat. I think would be really cute to stamp on there, kind of give them something. I don't want to put red. I was going to put red on there, but I think red will make it look Christmassy colors. All right, let's do brown on top. I'll do gray on the other one. I'm just going to go with light gray. And then to give my bottle some extra shape, I'm just going to kind of draw in a shadow on that line. Same here. And then for the top on this one, I'm just going to add one layer. I'm going to let it dry a little bit. And then again, add in that second layer towards the outside. So it kind of gives it that round illusion and or shape. Do I want to do, I'm going to do my bubble one in that light gray. And let's see. I think I'm going to I need more orange, more blue. A little bit more. So green is going to be there. So I think I'm going to go orange. Do I do red? I can try to add the red to the orange on the cup and see if we can make it work. And if that's the case, we're going to add some red to my gem here. I'm not great at coloring gems. They're supposed to be light areas, you know, not so light areas, all the things. It is what it is. Okay. So I'm just going to do some tip to tip here. I'm just going to add a little bit of red to my tip. I want a lighter tone of red and not such a dark tone. And so I'm just going to do it that way. And then for the label, I'm going to kind of do it the same way. So I'm just kind of I'm actually just kind of cleaning off the tip of my brush on this one. And so it's kind of looks like a orangey pink, I guess, which is fine. And for the cup, I want to bring in, I think it'd be cute to put like either, well, I should put freaking bats on it, but I think it'd be cute to put the little black cat on there and color him. So we're going to do that. So for the little teeny tiny stamps, I like to just use a block. You can definitely throw this in your stamping platform and do it that way. No harm, no foul. Whichever way works for you. If you are uncomfortable doing it one way, do it the other way. So I think my little cat is going to fit perfectly on this little mug. Perfect. And then, because, you know, I have the little spider, I think I'm going to bring the little spider in too. I kind of want him like hanging from the edge. We'll see. Well, you know, if you saved that mask, I did kind of, sort of. Okay. Do I want him? I'm going to hang him from here. So I'm just going to put my mask on the line here. I'm fine with the line going all the way down. I just don't want it to be above said line. And I did a really great job stamping that, so I'll come in after I'm done coloring with the fine liner and fix it. totally professional there. I want to do, well, I have a lot of orange on those ones. I think that blue is probably, maybe I'll just skip that one altogether. We'll see. I might not. That one will be one of those like images that I might use. It happens. I might need to recolor that one too. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to kind of come in. Usually I color just dark on the outside and then leave the inside, but because I have all the other things, right? So I'm going to kind of come in here. And yes, putting the cat on there makes this coloring a little bit harder, but that's okay. I kind of want him to stand out. So I'm going to actually give him a shadow. He probably shouldn't have a shadow. But I'm doing my red with that one, and then I'm going to bring in my darkest orange. And I'm going to go over all of that red area because I'm using a red to kind of give myself another level of darkness to my orange because I don't have it in that 60 set. This is a great way to do it. Doing a red undertone, which is going to be darker than your orange. But of course, orange and yellow red and orange make yellow. Red and yellow make orange. I can't talk today either. Okay, I'm glad we had this discussion. Okay. Anyways, that red and yellow will make orange, right? So adding orange on top of your red is just going to kind of deepen that orange tone. And then I'm just going to come in with my lighter orange and kind of hit a little over the top of where I've already been, but not all the way to the edge like I did with the darkest of the orange. So I'm not going to go over that red area with my lighter orange tone. And then just kind of working it, doing a second layer if it didn't, tone on tone didn't go very well. It did, I just skipped some spots because this one's got the cat in there. Handle. I haven't decided on the handle because we could definitely do two-tone on the handle and do that blue. And then I would feel like maybe I can make it work. Let's try that. I'm going to two-tone it and put some blue on the handle. I'm kind of thinking I wish I would have gone with that tealier tone, but it is what it is. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay. Now for the cat, I'm just going to come in with my darker gray, not all the way black. I mean, a black cat, it should be black, right? But I don't want to make him solid black. So I'm going to come in with that darker tone and do my first layer. And then I'm going to come in and just do a second layer over part of that. But then, of course, just going over that one area one time, so it'll be lighter than the other. And so we have our little black cat on there. My spider is supposed to just be black and fine, so I'm just going to bring in my fine liner here and add that line back in, and then of course kind of come out with my little creepy crawly there. Keep in mind you could definitely do the glossy on that one and then it'll pop up a little bit better, but you know, no harm, no foul. Do I want to make brown in there? I just added the brown because, I don't know, my stamping wasn't, I should have probably masked off that line there a little bit. So for my cauldron of bubbles or my concoction in my cup, I kind of like to follow the bubbles a little bit, kind of make them look darker on the bottom side and lighter towards the top side. So kind of coming in with that darker tone down below. Then I'm going to come in with my lighter and kind of go over the top of that darker, just the bottom point of that darker to kind of blend it. And then with the bubbles, we'll bring in this one again, and we're going to do some tip to tip again. And this time I might end up, I'm going to kind of pull it out a little bit off to the side. I want a really light tone on the top of my bubbles here, and so I don't want it to be that full strength when you do the tip to tip. Of course, you know, going over the area will push the darker color back some more, so the more you go over it, the darker tone is going to get pushed out some more. And then I just like to clean off my marker tip off to the side, so if I come back in with a different color later, I don't have issues. So I think there are all of our images colored for the most part. Yeah, there we go. So I will cut these out. I'll probably use the dies for everything but the mug top. I think I can just stop and let me see if we can do, let's see. Oh, let's just do it right now. Okay, I lied. We're not going to be able to use the die at all on the mug because I added the little spider as well. I was thinking I could like do part of it, but I can't because of just how I laid it out. Those ones are probably going to be too close together. I should be able to do some of these at the same time. So usually when I die cut out, I don't always leave enough space for all of my dies to fit next to each other on the same pass through, which I am a paper saver when it comes to all of the things. Some people are, you know, they like to leave lots of room in between. I don't like leaving any room in between, like bare minimum. The frugalness in me comes out. Because it definitely does not come out when it comes to resisting new craft supplies. If you know, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have this one. I have 3 images kind of glued on there. I'm just going to run it through my little sidekick here. This one and this one. Oh, these ones are all gonna look like amazing with some glossy accents and glitter. Not that I already have that planned out in my head, because I possibly maybe do. Okay, let's see. I need the hat, and the other bottle here. Now, I did masking on this one. You could definitely die cut everything out if you have all the dies, like the die for the bubbles, and then just cut a slit in the top of the mug, and that would be a way to do that one too, especially if you hate masking. I'm usually an anti-masker when it comes to masking stamped images. I don't know, I should say it's not my favorite thing to do. Well, it's not my favorite thing to do. Definitely not. It's not, I just find it time consuming, and so I'm a very minimalist masker. I love the look. I love watching people that can do like the layer upon layer upon layer of masks and get this gorgeous one panel card. That's just not me. I mean, I can do it. It's just really not me. So for this one, because I have the little spider dude, and I have the stamps for the like dies for the spider and the little cat, so you could definitely just color them, cut them out, and then glue them on top if you so choose. And I would say if you're going to run this one through your Brother Scan and Cut, those bubbles are not going to stay on unless you do a very thin line with, like, I usually do a pencil line. I just draw a line from the bubble down, and then just take an eraser and erase it after I'm done cutting it out. But this didn't take a horribly long time. Ooh, it's thundering out. I hope the chickies are actually in the woods and not like watching the storm again. Those girls are just like their owner, out on the lawn watching the storm roll in. It's kind of actually funny. I may have been out there this summer when we had one roll through, and yes, the chickens were like looking just like I was. They were like, ooh, what's going on out there? I know. You're all like, you're crazy. Yep, totes. Okay. All right, so I have my images cut. I have my main piece of paper. And this one that we already kind of did. Oh, look, it's still not dry. I'm just going to pick up the last little bit there. So at this point, we can kind of, oh, there's still some up here too. We can kind of lay out our images and see maybe how tall we want that one to be, which way we want it. I'm thinking like a minimal card one here, but I do kind of like it this way. So if we go here and then we add in like the witch's hat in the background, add some of the elixir bottles towards the front, kind of spreading out those colors. So the orange, the red, and oh, I don't want the blue one over here because pop that one there. Kind of just figuring out layout wise. Oh, I can't color up my spider. That would be very nice. Pop the little gem there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'll probably pop up my mug for sure, and then have the other images kind of in there. So I can cut this down a lot, right? I am going to say at this point, I would definitely bring in dies if you have that option. It kind of helps with framing your layout. I'm okay with my images kind of going off of it. I think it kind of adds a little bit to it. Adding in, if you have, let's see if I can find them. You could definitely do this one in a circle. I was looking for something fun, but I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. I was thinking like a scalloped circle would be kind of cute for this one. Even the scalloped, this one, which is a scallop, which I've done with this one before. It was just a different kind of image and or card. This one would be similar in size. It's going to be a little bit smaller because it's going to cut this line here, not this one there. Let's keep that in mind. I think I'm just going to go with the plain one, so that way if you don't have the die, you can definitely just cut it down to size this way. But using the dies kind of gives me a little bit more of a guide when it comes to cutting. Like, do I want it this big? Do I want it that big? It kind of helps me to eye it. And you don't have to use the die. You could definitely just cut it out with your paper cutter. But sometimes using the die, and this way I can say, oh, I kind of like this area. Maybe I want some more white in it. So I can kind of move it this way and or that way. I don't have to be straight on. Where if you're cutting it with your cutter, it's going to be easier if you're square than trying to cut out like this. I think I'm going to go, I really like the extra sparkles there, but I think I'm going to go this way with it just because I like this splatter here. I'm not too happy with my smooshing over there. And so I get the best of both worlds. And where is, I have washi. I just used it. Okay. So I'm going to come in, add my washi to this one where I kind of decided I like it. And then I'm going to run this through the die cut machine. You could definitely cut it with your cutter. I ended up cutting it, running it through twice because I didn't have the plate on that piece right from the beginning. I like to run them through on my cutter at an angle so you're not hitting straight on with that one. Just keep that in mind. It'll help save your machine a little bit. So now we have this one. We can kind of layer that one there. So this is when we can decide, do I want it this way? Do I want it that way? I think I'm going to go this way just because I don't have that teal so much. And so this is going to hide that, not having all of that teal. Because I used water medium on this one, I do like to bring in either score style tape or a dry style adhesive just to kind of help hold it down. So this is just scrapbook.com. I think this is 3/8 of an inch. I will say scrapbook.com has, like, their adhesives are always on sale, so don't ever buy them at regular price. They're usually, I don't know, pretty good about having a good percentage off on their named item things. Ooh, do I want a sentiment on this one before I get too far? Great question. Let's see if I bring in I could do just have a Purrfect or you are spooktacular. I'm going to bring in that you are spooktacular and put that on the top here before I get too far. Stamp platform. Why for are you hiding all the way over there? I have no clue. None whatsoever. Okay. And I'm going to bring in I was thinking vintage sepia, but I think I'm going to go with the VersaFine Onyx black on this one, just because the brown is really dark. The black is going to be darker than that brown, and so it should show a lot better. So we're going to go with black for that one. And pull that one off to the side again. And then I am going to actually do something I'm going to start with my top layer and tuck things behind it. And why am I going to do it that way? Usually I don't do it that way. Usually I do it the other way, right? I'm going to do it this way today just because I want the rest of my images to kind of be tucked in the background, but I don't want them to get too totally lost in the background. And this will kind of help me with that. So these are just circle foam adhesive dots from wherever. I don't even know. Maybe from when I design team for that store that's no longer open. Could be. Do I want to add some glue? So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this. Not a lot. I'm going to kind of keep the glue in the middle. That way if I choose to adjust, I might be able to pull it up just a little bit. So I'm going to go right there with that one. And then we're going to just come in and kind of, and these are thicker adhesives, so if I want to do some thinner adhesives, I have some other thinner options to come in with different levels of adhesive or different levels of foam tape to kind of play here. That one there. I'm gonna do, so these are from scrapbook.com. This is, I think, is the 1 millimeter thick foam tape. So this is going to pop it up a little bit from the hat, but not a whole lot. And I'm pretty sure that the one that's on front here is probably a 3 millimeter foam tape adhesive. I know, well, okay, so I was looking at scrapbook.com, put a bunch of stuff in my cart, and then never checked out, right? It's what I do. And then in a week and a half when it's not here, I'll be like, why didn't that order come in? Oh yeah. I didn't actually place it. Why didn't you place it? Because I really didn't need anything that was on that order. But I know they have the little foam sheets. They have them in all 3 thicknesses now, like in one order, which is kind of nice. Do I want to pop this one up? I think I'm going to put this one towards the background, kind of like the hat. And then I'm going to pop up that gem a little bit. Trying to decide if I want my shaker. I think I'm going to put that one. Maybe I'll pop this one up. No, I'm just going to lay that one on top there, I think. So that one there. And then we're going to pop this gem up just a teeny tiny little bit. I feel like I need another gem over on that side. Feels like it's missing something there. Okay. I'm going to remember to pull in my reverse tweezers here. I have all the gadgets and the gadgets, and then I rarely remember to actually use them. You could ask me why that is. I don't know. Because they're not like right in front of me. I think I need another gem over there. So, where is my piece of paper that I just got done using? Or the gem and that piece of paper that I just got done cutting everything out of that I didn't actually throw away. So, can I find it? No. Okay. Did I throw it away? Probably not. I just can't find it. Okay. I'm just going to stamp this one quick and we'll color it in quick. And this will help me color wise. I think I'm going to go with green just because I feel like the green there, and then I should have a little teeny tiny little bit of green over there. So I'm just going to stamp that one on. Let's pull in my green markers here. Nothing spectacular coloring wise. This one's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna cheat and just cut it. Doobie doobie doo. Maybe. Okay, maybe it would have been faster to die cut it. Okay. Got like a tape stuck to my finger. Feels weird. Okay. That one there, this one, we're gonna pop this one up. Seriously, tape, leave me alone. Okay. That spoon really wants to make an appearance today. I think those are going to, I'm going to bring those straight to the kitchen and wash them today. I'm gonna just tuck that underneath there. I kind of want it behind. I didn't want it at the same angle. I was trying to, it just looked funny. Okay, so I think I'm good there. I could definitely add some more like embellishments onto that one. We could do, let's see. I would say we'd add some bats. Some freaking bats, which I just got a bunch of freaking bats. Michaels has them if you are looking for some freaking bats. I am going to use freaking bats for Jamie from Miss Amy freaking File. Okay. The little clay ones in here. my picker tool, picker tool, picker tool. Where are we at time? Okay, we're good. Go to your home. Fly away to your home. Okay, last one. Do I want to do anything below? No, I think I'm just going to embellish the rest with glossy accents and glitter. So for my glitter pieces, let's see, do I have all the glitter things, right? Let's see here. Because this one's the color that I really want for this. I'm going to add this to my potion bottle here. It's like a tealy blue. And I think we need a glittery handle. This one. I have a yellow, but I think we're just going to go glossy accents with. Where is my clear? I say I should have a clear. So Stardust Stickles for my gems. We'll add some shimmer and some more sparkles. We can do sparkly band on the hat. And then for my bottles, I'm just going to try to hit the actual bottle part and not like the cap or the little label piece. I kind of just want the shiny on the actual bottle. And so the part that's glittered, I'm not going to go over. I'm just going to do that top part on that one. And then for this one, I'm just going to do my little elixir that is in my cauldron, or in my coffee cup here. I think we're good there. I want a glittery. Do I have? I do have. I have Stardust Stickles, and or I kind of like I have a glittery black one too, but being that I should have done this before I did the handle. So just coming in for the spider web, I am going to make sure that it is cleaned off on a scratch piece of paper, just so I don't have any glitter on the tip there, because that would definitely ruin it. Do that part before you do the glittering of the cup, because, you know, God forbid I do things in the right order. So you are Spooktacular. I think the hat should have been tilted a little bit more that way, but it is what it is. Alrighty. I'll probably just do a Happy Halloween on the inside. Let's see here. Set that off to the side so I don't smoosh it. I would 100% smoosh it. I set it on top of my done card pile that's like 10 cards high that need to get put away, but haven't gotten put away. So if I lose it and I ask you where it's at, there you go. You tell me that's where it's at. I want the Happy Halloween one. Okay. You are Spooktacular. And Happy Halloween. And with the big cat. Oh, I could do have a Purrfect Halloween, but I think I'm just gonna go with the big cat here next to it. So we'll go this route. I think we're fairly centered there. My desk is a mess. Coming in with that VersaFine Onyx Black. And I'm just going to add that one in there. And we should be good. On this one, do I want to add like the little coffee prints? We can try to just do it with the ink pad. And my glue bottle. Ooh, that's probably going to give me a better impression anyways, isn't it? Doobie doobie doo. Shh, you did not see this. What did Jamie use for a palette today? Oh, the bottom of her glue bottle. No harm, no foul. Splatter, would you? Fine, we're gonna drop it like this. It's not going today. Okay, there we go. Now I can't add the card front because my inside's wet, but there we go. There is the inside of the card, and as soon as it is dry, I will pop on that card front, which is also wet, so therefore I can't like try to add it. But there you go. So there is the inside of my card, and the front will look like this. So as soon as that is dry, then I can pop that onto the top, and there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry it was a little hodgepodge and out there, but that's just kind of where I'm at this week. So anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Keep getting inky. Bye.